Hey, you. Love and light to you. Good night. I want to speak very briefly. Let me test audio. Okay, the audio is good. I want to talk briefly about death. Not more so the death process, more so the physical person who's left back, how you deal with grief. And I'm not telling you how to deal with your grief because, listen, there's no blueprint. Nobody wrote a manual, and even if they did, it really only resonates with them and a few other people because everybody needs to have their own walk and path of experiencing and expanding through grief. Yes, I said expanding, okay? So I had a beautiful session not too long ago, and this beautiful client, she wants me to refer to her as Karen M. So, Karen M, I love you. It was beautiful chatting with you. And this is your gift to the world because this is coming from your message, yeah? And she said, I want you to talk about it because I've never quite looked on it this way. The message that she received from our discussion. And I want to say to you firstly, we every human being will at some point in your life experience the physical reaction of what grief does to you. And it does quantify to integrate mind, body, and soul when you do it. So you will start to have that thought in your mind. And the first thought is, I've lost someone that I love dearly. That's what the mind says. I've lost them. I'll never be able to touch them ever again because they're now gone. And when the mind does that, the nervous system naturally allows you to begin to start feeling the sensations of grief. And when you start to feel it, it can show up in so many different ways. Some people really become dormant because they're not sure how to deal with these sensations that they feel. Very low feeling, a feeling as if a part of you has been ripped off. And it is a energetic attachment. And because there's no blueprint to it and everybody's relationships are different, I want you to first of all acknowledge that you should feel free to express yourself the best way you know how. When you get to the stage where you have to deal with grieving of losing anything or anyone that matters to you emotionally, first of all, and there should be no timeline on your grief because it's simply your body's way of relearning how to express and understand what that love meant because we attach love to, again, a physical thing. I need to have to see, to touch, to quantify my love, and not many people have this capacity to see beyond the boundaries of love. And this is what this beautiful person got to I guess realize today. So she's going through grief and it's pretty fresh. And she's, first of all, beaten down on herself because she has younger siblings and other people who normally look up to her. And she's trying to be strong for them, for them, for them. And in her way of trying to, well, let's say not trying, she's not acknowledging her own body sensation. She's not acknowledging how she feels, right? And because of that, she hasn't been able to expand in her grief. So what that does, it starts to create a volcano within you energetically. And it erupts sometimes, triggered by anything, but the trigger isn't the issue. The issue is the fact that you never allowed yourself to experience this expansion of what grief represents to you. So this is why I want to tell everybody, so many people, I want to be strong, I have to be strong for everyone. But through all these life experiences, I want you to know, when you, especially when your mind equates a story to tell you you've lost someone forever, there has to be some expression of self there to say, wait, what does this mean now? If I've lost this person forever, how do I add light to this situation? How do I express myself now that this person that was a part of my life, or this animal, or this pet, whatever it is, because love is just love, How do I now express myself with no more of this person in the physical, where I can call and touch? And you have so many ways you can do it, but I want you to find your own way. But the main message that came for her is, first of all, I'm not a medium. And I don't tell anyone that I'm a psychic. I am just a empty conduit. That's what I call myself. And I'm okay with that. And when I sit with anybody, or when I'm anywhere, I embody the light in a way where I trust and I allow a message of holiness and truth for this person. Sometimes it can just be something that I experience myself, and my guides will give me an imprint of me, and I'll look at the person and say, oh my gosh, you're a mirror of me. And then I know, oh gosh, my story is theirs, right? And I don't intend to tap into mediumship because I'm not comfortable with it. I've had imprints of it. I'm really not comfortable with, you know, with other energies just showing up. Not. However, what I've found and I respect so much is these angels, these guides, whatever you want to call them, these energies of love just show up for people exactly when they want to and how they want to. So although I'm not any of those things, because I don't hold on to any of those identities, many times now I've noticed they will still bring through a message from the other side for a person, just because it's something that they needed, not wanted, to say, oh my gosh, I have this long list and I want to talk to this person, that person, that person. No, 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 that's not how it works. Don't do that with me, because I will not give you a message that I don't have. I am an empty conduit, very empty. And I trust the flow of energy and love. So I don't know you, don't need to know you, but your guides know you and know why they sent you. So they will give you exactly what you need, even if that's not what you thought you were coming for. But most times you'll be surprised. For her, she needed a message from this loved one. And here's what she wanted me to share with you, because it blew her mind and it kind of blew mine too. There's a message that came through to say to her, I'm still here. She started to cry. She said, no. And she started, I think, to get emotional because she thought I was quacking, She thought I was the one who was making a Mickey. It wasn't me. And the energy came through my guide to say, I'm still here. And she got an exercise of breathing. And then they said, feel. Within that breathing. And then a message came through to say, don't you understand? That which we are is not a body. That which we are is more. That which, and this is the verbiage this energy is using, because that's not her, but that which we are is pure source love that is infinite in magnitude and size, with a bandwidth that this realm cannot hold or contain. And there was this breathing that I was feeling that was so gentle and so loving. And then, please understand, just imagine that you are this enormous source of water, the widest ocean you can think of. This is you. And while you live containing yourself in a bottle with just an aspect of that which you are, but not your wholeness. And within that aspect, you are given this beautiful opportunity of expansion and learning and exploration, to just have that resource of source flow through you in that bottle as you live. But the love that you are can never be contained in that bottle. that is what I've left you experiencing now. But please, now that I am back into this beautiful ocean of water, of love, where we all came from. So I have not left. Because once you still have your source of water and you can never be depleted, you still have me. I thought to myself, wow, never really looked on it like that, this life and death thing. But I knew, though, coming back from my ND, I remember that breath. I remember that pinhole in that dark space. And I remember when it started to expand and I got that breath. I remember just knowing, oh my gosh, it's my soul is like it's just been sucked into this very small container. That's how it felt, like it had to squeeze an aspect of itself in this body. So when I came into this body, the first thing that hit me was fear, but I didn't have it before. And I realized, oh my gosh, when you come into the aspect of your physical body, that's when you are now integrated with the emotions and feelings and the doubt and the this. But a soul, it's not possible for a soul to be imprinted with these things because it's all source love. So she went on to say, I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Why did you have to die now? And here's a profound part, and I don't want to stay too long, so let me go there. The message for her was, and the message I think for any one of you who's going through grief right now, when I speak, I want you to feel the messages. My angels always say, just tell them to feel the compassion and love of Source and not pick on words. So I'll tell you that, because this is a very delicate, touchy subject. So I want to be respectful with it. So when she asked, why did you have to die now? I don't understand why? We had so many plans. We had so many this, and we expect to say these things. And the message for her was, don't you understand? That which I am always is. However, don't you know that you can have your best friend or best love who only comes to visit you for one holiday, however long that holiday was for? That's what I did. And our holiday was 32 years. And it was great. But while I came for that 32 years, not a minute more, look at the things that we learned. Look at how much expansion we did. Look at the beauty and abundance that we created. If I didn't take this holiday, there would be none. I'm not leaving you. My time has expired because I only chose to come here for this holiday and expand and learn all I needed and imprint on you so much unconditional love. But remember, my love, the love that we are, it supermounts, it proceeds, it surpasses boundaries, time, and space. I've never really looked on it like that. The message from this other soul was simply this: don't be regretful, hateful, bitter, and always questioning why. I understand if you will, but I would love you to finally get to this imprinted point in your life where you can say, oh my gosh, let me focus on the beautiful memories we held, because you really just came for a holiday. You don't know. And the person, while they're in the physical body with all these emotions of, oh my gosh, I can't be bothered, or I'm so excited about life, and still making plans, don't know that on a soul level they chose to be on this holiday. You know, you go to stay with your family or your best friend or your loved one for a holiday. And what do you do during the holiday? You have the bestest time because you're on holiday. So you explore and you go through all the archetypes of life. You go through the highs and the lows, but it's a holiday and you're expressing and experiencing and expanding in this life. And she just finally said, I think I get it. I think he knew, but he didn't know that he knew. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, because he always been saying this Hey, honey, come on. We're on a holiday. Even if they're not going on vacation, he always used that word. So I was like, oh, that's cool. That's profound, because I actually really love that message. For you to understand that we are all here on a holiday, and great majority of us have no idea the imprints or the pre-birth plans that we had to be here. Many of us chose very dysfunctional families to come in. I know it's gonna shake your bejeebies up. Many of you are going like this now. You're no, 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 because you want to hold on to that, and that's fine. But there's a pre-birth decision before coming here on what assignment we have to carry out. And I'm so grateful for this right now, because it's not just my experience, it's so many other people's experience who are expanding themselves into between this life and death thing, right? And I love it. I really love it. So for anyone out there who's experiencing the expansion of grief, because this is how they express it. Grief is not something to make you smaller, it's something supposed to allow you to expand. Grieving is something for many people that gives you what I received as an NDE. You receive enlightenment through losing somebody, because it allows you to expand. It awakens you to wait. No, no, no. They were just here in the physical, and you're telling me they're not here anymore. They're not, they're just gone, gone, gone. And it allows you to tap into that dormant DNA to say, no, I don't think so. I feel their energy. I still resonate with their love. You know, when I was at that, wherever, that showing where you see the bodies when they're gone, I did not feel their soul there. They weren't there. But I feel them here with me. So many people have these experiences. So it's profound for me to tell you that hopefully for you at some point in your life, no matter what age the person is, and I have had discussions with people with children who leave very, very early, and then they realize, oh my gosh, they were advanced souls, and they just chose to take this very same, now I can safely say, holiday. I came to just spend a summer holiday with you, because you needed to remember that you can love and you can receive unconditional love. And I felt it, and I'm so grateful for everything you gave for me. But that was an imprint that you needed to get you off that rocky corner. You were going through a depressive state, and I chose to come in at that point because I needed you to have something to take care of, that you would own and love, to say, this is my thing. So I choose to stay here for this. But don't take my departure as something for you to give up again. Remember the love we shared and the light that you have become. Embody that. My gosh. Most of us out here could write books and books and books, but who would read them? Because not many people read, right? So in this sacred breath, our attachment to everything in the physicality in this world depletes us from fully understanding the power of resource that we have, the power of connection that we already are, and the ability to embody all there is in a breath, in laughter, in joy. In witnessing this morning, I witnessed two squirrels pray. They were playing back and forth, back and forth. I was like, thank you, God, for this ecosystem that's been created where everything is just living in their most authentic state. And I was observing people going back and forth, and I'm feeling the energies. And I just said, God, I hope that we could get to a state early, not late, where people can also understand how blessed they are to also be a part of this ecosystem. We walk around every day between this breath and the next, and we hyperventilate. We hyperventilate, pushing God out, and we're seeking God outside of us, and we're and we get angry. I was at the urgent care this evening, and and a lady came in, and I understand she's frustrated, and I could feel her frustration. But the amount of breaths and energy and blowing and hyperventilation she used to express herself, I was just over there to say, oh God, allow her to feel your presence so she can be again in present state of understanding. Maybe she was supposed to come back. There's a reason why they didn't do what they needed to do for her to come back. So breathe, because nothing is an accident. It's all choreographed. So when you feel people getting in hypervent, being, oh my gosh, I'm so hyper and I'm hyperventilating. When people get in these states, you don't allow yourself to pause and to remember, I am in the in-between state of life and death. But like last night, one of the messages that came through so beautiful is, this breath is the only thing you never have to be worried about how many you need to breathe in any day. Because there is an ethereal source of love that ensures that we trust, that ensures that we just breathe. We don't worry about that. And Mother Mary told me once, well, you practice to die every night too. There is a moment when you surrender. And what do? That sacred breath. And that's my alarm. I have a client. You take that sacred breath and you surrender to sleep. But that sleep is practicing to die over and over again before your time comes. She says, what does that tell you? When you go to sleep, which is actually practicing to die, what do? You explore dimensions and worlds, and you can just be a victim or a victimizer, or you can have an experience in what you call hell, or have an experience in heaven. And she says, well, what does that tell you, human beings? You're always expanding. So why are you afraid of death when all your life you've been practicing to live? And every night you practice to die and you're up again. So anyway, to the person who's going through grief, be gentle on yourself as you go through all the sensations that the body will send you to tell you, oh my gosh, I don't have this loved one in the physicality. I want you to find yourself a sacred space, a sacred trinket, something to remind you of their love, something they did, their voice, something, maybe a ring or something, or their picture on a wall. Just to keep your physical mind to say, they're gone to the physical, but every time I see this thing, every time I light this candle, I rediscover that our love crosses boundaries between this life and death, crosses dimensions, crosses portals. Because the minute I start to think of them, I feel the love, I remember the joy, the laughter, everything. This is what they want you to experience when you lose eventually. So you don't always cloud yourself to say, I lost you, lost. You haven't lost love. You've lost somebody who chose to spend some time as a container with just a small aspect of their being, like you did. But please remember that you are a soul first, your energy first. I'm not a body who has a soul. I'm an expansive soul that chose to experience life in a very limited body. But it's very bloody fun because I get to express myself with emotions and laughter and joy. And yes, I have the up and down, but it's an exploration. And I want to learn and expand, and I want to make this earth better than the way I came to see it. God doesn't ask you to be God. God says, be the love, be the light. You are the light of God. So you be the light of God to yourself. And when you choose to empty yourself from this bottle, this body, this container, remember that you go to infinite source love, to God, to universe. You go back to where there's no pain and no sickness and no tears. You go back to a place that's whole and complete. So where's the loss? And while we're here in these limited bodies, we can do so much. So let's do that. If you've lost somebody in the physical, I want you to take the sacred breath with me now. I have 2 minutes. And feel. Think of them. Feel. Think of them. The moment you start to think of them, you call the energies in. All I ask you to feel is the love that never left you. It never left. It's impossible to leave your energy. I hope this helped you. We really are just supposed to live as life is lifing. And I want you to think always, there's more, there's more, there's more. There's an expansion, there's more. But if you are love, and they are love, it never ceases to exist. So be gentle with yourself. Don't put a timeline on how you grieve. But always replace, when you have those sacred moments, with the laughter and the joy and the love you shared. Don't just keep it compounded with, I lost. I am expanding to understand that love, wow, it goes beyond this body I thought I was, confined to. And that's my message for you today. Between life and death and grieving, I love you. All of you. Now, love yourself, will you? And everyone else who's here and who's expanded. Bye.